Hello, welcome. In this tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you how to do an Android extension. Because if you've tried to make one without really being a pro at Java or Gamemaker, and you've looked at the tutorials, and you've tried to do it in Gamemaker 2, you realize you can't, because this thing here is complete crap. It barely gives you any information, and the stuff it does give you is outdated. So they do a nice job of keeping up to date with their stuff. But it took me about 2 days to figure everything out, so I figured I better make something, so you don't have to go through 2 days of hard work. So let's just get right in. There's literally only one piece of useful information from here that we're going to use. So let's see, let's jump in here, and this is what I want to do. I have just a simple object created here, and I have basically when the screen is touched, I want to ask for 2 numbers, and then I want to call this function here add 2 numbers, and I want it to add 2 numbers. And we're going to do that with the Android extension and make it work. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to extensions, right click, and click create extensions. And let's just call this ambiguous name. I spelled that wrong. Random name. Whenever I say random name, that means it does not matter. You can name it whatever you like. Okay? So what we're going to do, and this is not crucial, but we're just going to uncheck the things that we're not going to export to. Okay, and then we do want to enable Android since that's what we're exporting to, and that opens up this new window here. And there are a couple things in here we're going to use, but first let's actually start making a file. So we're going to make an extension file. So this is going to be a text document, and I'm going to call this, this name is important, so keep track of this name, okay? I'm going to call it add 2 numbers and then .java. That's important. So I'll ask if you want to rename it. Yes. And then let's right click, and I'm using Notepad++. So we're going to open up in Notepad++. So let's jump over back to the native Android extension tutorial thing here. All we're going to use here is the import package. This one right here. Let's drop that in. And we're also going to import these 2 things right here. You don't have to change anything. This right here will automatically load in the package name of your application, which is really nice. So just use that. Okay. So now, here's what we want to do. We're going to start making a public class. You have to do this no matter what kind of extension this is. We're going to go with public class. And now right here is going to be the file name of your file. So since I named it add 2 numbers, that's what it's going to be. Add 2 numbers. Okay, like that. And now we're going to actually add in a function. So since Gamemaker works with doubles and strings, we're going to return a double. And I'm going to call this, I'll just call it add. Okay, and then what I want to get is I want to get a double. I'll call that A, and I'll get another double B. And then I want to return A plus B. And that's it. I'm just going to add the 2 numbers that are given to me and send them back the number that's added. And you can put really anything in here, like literally anything. It's great. It's awesome. Okay, so let's move on. So what we're going to do now is this public class here, add 2 numbers, and your file name, that's going to be the same, and it's also going to go inside here, this class name. Those have to be the exact same. If they're not the same, it won't work. Nothing will work. Okay, those have to be the same. Okay, so now that we have this, and I just put it in a random folder on my desktop called add 2 numbers, and did I save it? I did. So it's just a folder on my desktop, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go add source. This is going to tell Gamemaker where the file is. So let's browse for this. Put it in an extension. There we go. And now to make sure that it copied it, what we're going to do is right click on extension and click open in Explorer. This will open up where it copies all the files to. So go to Android stores, Java, and there you can see our file we made. So edit it from here. Don't use the other one. You can delete that copy. This is its own copy, and this is what Gamemaker looks at when it's exporting and compiling and stuff. So just do that. And cool. So now that we have the source, we have the class name. We don't have any permissions or anything like that we need to inject. We get to make a file. So create a file, and when you're doing Android, you have to do a generic placeholder. You cannot use a GML or a JS. Use a generic placeholder. So click on generic placeholder, and that name is preset. You won't be able to change the name. This name right here as well doesn't matter. Or I'm sorry, you can change it right there. Never mind. But We're not going to use proxy files. We're not going to use init functions or final functions. Those are advanced. All we need to do is just decheck the things here we don't want to export to, or uncheck them. Okay, so we got Android, cool. And let's make a new function. The name here is going to be what we type into Gamemaker to call the function. So I want it to be add two numbers. It doesn't matter. I'm actually going to say random. Another random name. That can be whatever you want it to be. But now the external name, this right here, has to be the same as this function right here that you want to call. So I called it add. So that right there is what I need to put in here for my external name. Add. Now help. I can go. This can be literally whatever. Some help. Cool. Let's do that. Now return type. If it's a number, you want it to be double. If it's a string, you want it to be string, obviously. And then we want it to have two arguments, A and B, but these are going to be doubles as well. We want to pass doubles to the function. So that should be it. So now what happens here, let's go back to our object. Let's go a random name. And then we're passing in AB, and now when I'm getting the get string, I'm converting it here to a double. You have to convert it before you pass it to the function, or else it won't work. So just be mindful of that. Putting in error checking too inside of the code would be good, but I'm not going to worry about it. So with all of that completed, this is what it looks like after the fact. You can see I put in a couple numbers. Let's see, it's 16. So it works. It works like it should, and that's awesome. So this is pretty basic, pretty quick, but just some key things in there that the tutorial on the Gamemaker thing doesn't point out, like which names have to be the same, what you have to pay attention to. And as long as you name all those things right, it should work, and then you can really put in whatever code you want to into the Java file, and it'll work well. So obviously working knowledge of Java is important, but that's about it. Alright, thanks guys. See you next time.